Hey there and welcome. Welcome to my studio. My name is Stacy. I've been a yoga teacher for nearly 20 years and I've also been living with chronic pain for at least that long, probably closer to 25. I'm going to show you just a basic sequence that I enjoy on the mornings when I'm feeling a little bit stiff, something to get all the joints moving without putting a lot of strain in the muscle or in the joint itself. So we're going to start by standing. I do have a chair handy. If I need it, I'm going to have it there close by. You can also use your countertop if you're just following along in your kitchen or your sofa or a folding chair. You don't even need it, but I like to have the ability to bring the floor a little bit closer to me so that I don't have to strain as far to get my hands closer to the floor. You'll see what I mean. All right, we're going to step wide. Turn the toes slightly out. I'm going to start by just circling my arms up and circling them down. Now we can add the breath here. We can inhale up, exhale down. Nice simple movements where we're not holding any particular posture for too long because that can cause some pain and discomfort in the joint. And as we get stronger muscularly, we can add that in. But if you're just hanging out and beginning with me, just take it easy and go slow. One more. All right, we're gonna reach back up towards the ceiling. Hold here, grab your left wrist, pull it up and over. Come back to center, grab your right wrist, pull it up and over. Come on back and lower your arms. Give some shoulder rolls. We're just gonna be taking the ball and socket of the shoulder and moving it in all the directions. Now I'm going to lift and lower. You might cross at the wrist. It feels nice, kind of be a little bit flowy with this motion. We got two more this way. Perfect. Last one and lower. Now we're going to raise the arms and lower the arms. Nice and soft here. We're just getting the directions of the shoulder moving. Two more. Last one. Now, I'm going to take my right arm and I'm going to circle it back. Now, if you're able to keep your arm completely straight, do that like a backstroke. If you find that your shoulder or chest muscle is tight, just do the backstroke with the elbow. Three more. You might even start to rotate the ribs right there as you turn. All right, let's do the other one. You might find that one shoulder feels dynamically different. So if you can backstroke, great. If you can elbow backstroke, that's great too. Three more. Just getting some motion in the shoulders. Last one. Now I'm going to step my feet closer and I'm going to turn towards my chair. So I'm going to be using the seat of my chair. You could be using the seat of your sofa, or if you have yoga blocks, it's going to be a little bit lower to the floor, but I'll show you what I mean by bringing the floor to me. It actually helps, especially if we have discomfort in our low back. We don't have to reach as far. We're going to keep a nice soft bend in the knees. Straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back and down, which invites us to lead with the heart. Circle up, take a breath, reach up, maybe even look up, and then on your exhale, spread the arms wide like a swan dive and bring your hands to the seat of that chair or sofa. Now, my knees are nice and bent here. I want to keep them that way just for the first few times. I'm going to inhale and straighten the legs, straighten the spine, and maybe look down at my ankles. Bend the knees, bend the elbows, tuck the chin and exhale. So I'm deepening that fold. Here comes that halfway lift where I straighten the legs, straighten the arms, straighten the spine. Bend the elbows, bend the knees, exhale, tuck the chin. Do that two more times. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to soften. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to soften and stay. And we don't need to think about going further in this fold. We just need to give a signal to the brain that we are in the rest and digest system, known as the parasympathetic system. One more breath. Leave the chair just where it's at and slowly rebuild the spine. Now, when we are experiencing a lot of discomfort and pain, our body goes into this continual cycle of fight or flight, which means our body is reacting to the stress that we feel in the body, which is pain, and we never really get into that rest and digest. So I'm going to give you a couple postures that really encourage the body to go into rest and digest. Now, somebody like me who has joint pain in every joint, it's important that I'm moving the joints, but then it's also important that I'm sending that signal to the brain that I'm safe, I'm okay, it's okay to rest, it's okay to be easy. But getting down on the floor and getting back up is a little bit problematic for me. So I'm just going to continue to stay up, but take advantage of some forward folds in between, a little bit of that joint work. So I'm going to take my hands and I'm just going to open and close my hands. This gets into the joints of the fingers, which are often forgotten, especially when we don't have a practice that has a lot of on the ground stuff to strengthen the fingers and the wrists. Now take your hands into a ball and just rotate the wrists. Go a few directions each way, and now bend the elbows and bring the fists back up. Just 2 of these, just getting elbows involved. Now we're gonna lift the elbows, lower the elbows, coming back to shoulders. All right, 2 more. Now we should feel pretty open and more flowy through the upper body. Let's think about the lower body. So I'm going to take my legs wide into that longer shape. I'm going to bend my knees, but try not to lean forward because then we lose the strength in the legs. Now we're not going to hold this because it can be problematic for knees or for thighs. So I'm simply going to start shimmying side to side. And as I do that, one leg bends, one leg straightens. Bend and straighten. Now, take the hands palm to palm and start drawing a figure 8. This just gets a little bit of brain action going. So much of our pain originates in the pain receptors in the brain. We get dysregulated. We get a lot of broken signals, if you will, if we live with pain a long time. And doing simple movements like this can help to sort of organize some of those pain receptors. Now I'm going to stay on the right side. I'm actually going to turn my toes out and bring my arms straight like a bow and arrow. I'm going to pull the left elbow back and then bring my hand to touch. Pull it back, bring it to touch. So I'm working in that thoracic spine again while having a stagnant hold on my right leg. Last one, pull it back, now straighten. Lower your arms. Let's bend and straighten. So now I'm focusing on knees, hips, ankles, even into the feet. We got 2 more this way. Last one, straighten. Let's do the other side. So I'm going to turn the left toes, making sure that my knee is over my ankle. This is my problematic hip. My knee wants to track inward. So I have to be very mindful, and I probably won't go as deep, and that is okay. Straighten the arms. Here's that thoracic stretch. Pull back and touch. Pull back and touch. You might even turn the head to look at your hands, look at your elbow. Last one. Perfect. Pull the arrow back, lift the bow, take a breath. Now, bring your hands to your hips, and we're going to bend and straighten. So we're getting into the knee here, using the strength of the feet to hold us up. I can tell just by my video, I'm wanting to track diagonally because of my hip. So I want to make sure that I'm mindful to keep my chest towards you, keep my hips towards you, but still get that flexion in the knee. 2 more. Last one. Now I'm going to turn all 10 toes to front. Bring my hands behind me. Slip them down as if I'm putting them in my back pockets. Press the hips forward. This is going to get a nice stretch through the hip flexor. I'm not cranking my neck back. I'm just taking the eyes up slightly. Come back to a straight spine and walk the feet close together. Now this is a fun one, and it can be a little bit challenging for balance. So if you do have a chair nearby, feel free to grab it. This is going to work the joints of the feet. So my feet are parallel, close together. I'm going to hang on to this chair, maybe just with one finger, and I'm going to lift and lower. Now we forget about the feet, but think about how many things our feet do for us throughout a day. And that is really true what they say about the ankle bone's connected to the knee bone. So we want to make sure that we have plenty of strength in the feet and in those toes. 2 more. Go up as high as you can, pause at the top, and then lower. Now turn your toes slightly out, like that little first position ballerina. We're gonna go up and down. Now you might say to me, Stacy, this doesn't feel like yoga, because yoga is holding postures. It's crazy names of crazy shapes. 2 more. Here's my method on that. Lower. Not everybody's body is designed to be on the floor and to be holding long held shapes. It becomes painful for many people, including myself. So my movement is more fluid and more flowy to get synovial fluid moving in my joints, which lubricates the joints, helps them stay supple and not get dry and stiff. And then there are times where I do come into a held pose, but it's usually a pose that's going to work with my nervous system around pain instead of increasing that fight or flight. So if I'm in a shape, a yoga shape, that feels like it's a lot of work to hold, I'm sending a signal to my brain, this is danger, this is a fight, this is a flight, do something. I don't want my practice to be like that because life is like that. So I want to counter daily living with pain with a comfortable place to be in my body. So let's go back to the forward fold. Now you can certainly keep the back of the chair if you find that hinging forward is just too much for your back. So you bring the floor to you, which is the back of the chair, and it's a little bit higher. I'm going to go ahead and turn so that I'm coming back to the seat of the chair, and I'm going to make sure that I'm comfortable taking my feet wide, maybe as wide as the chair. And then I'm going to tuck my chin and hinge towards the back. So I'm taking the weight of my body into the heels. And then as I do that, my arms are going to naturally want to go a little bit longer, so further down the seat of the chair. Now, if you've ever practiced yoga, that beautiful pose known as downward facing dog is a great stretch for the back and the legs and the hamstrings, the ankles, the shoulders, and quieting the nervous system. This is a modified version of that shape known as downward facing dog using a chair. We're going to come forward, shift the weight forward, find that number 7 shape, right? Oh, now straighten the legs as best you can. Take a breath. And on your exhale, hinge back to that modified downward facing dog. I've been teaching a lot of this here in studio, and many of the people that come have said it feels so good without the pain of the wrist. Come forward, find that number 7 shape, look at your hands, take the shoulders away from your ears, take a breath, and hinge back. So this is where we're sending that message to the brain that we are in rest and digest. Come forward. I want you to take 3 of those motions, just slowly on your own, noticing where you feel it in the body, perhaps behind the knees, perhaps the upper back, the lower back. And we've got 1 more. The idea is that we go slow here. And the next time you are hinged back in that modified down dog, I want you to stay and take 2 really sturdy, long breaths. Tuck your chin, let your head hang. And another breath. Slowly begin to come out of it. Walk your feet closer and slowly rise. Now, of all of the movements, do you feel that? Getting the movement through the flow that we did, getting all of the joints to get some lubrication by flexion, that's going to be what keeps your pain at bay. And then finding those forward fold moments, even if it's not a formal yoga practice, but you come home from wherever you've been, maybe it's work, maybe it's school, maybe it's just running errands, and you feel the tension building in your body, go to your kitchen sink, hold on to your kitchen sink, hinge way back, come forward, find that motion front to back, because if you do it frequently and you tuck that chin and you let the head hang, you will in time begin to feel better. That's how we reset that pain loop in our brain, amongst many other things. But this is one way that you can do it in the body and help to reduce everyday aches and pains. So I'll see you soon. I got more of this coming, and have a great day. Have a easy day, a day with less discomfort. Take care.